I do have a couple of slides, so I will share my screen. But essentially, to give some backstory to myself, then, so I joined Checkout in October of last year, and when I joined, there was no BDR division. We essentially built this up from the ground up. And one thing I realized is that when you first join a company, you can get quite excited, and especially as a BDR manager, you're thinking, I need to start hiring straight away. That's the only way I can grow. But for myself, it was kind of taking a back seat and realizing that the most important thing, and almost thinking back to when I was a BDR, is what do I wish I had to be successful in my role? And essentially, it came down to a playbook. And this is a statistic that really meant a lot to me. And I think Aaron Evans shared this on it the other day, is that companies with a sales playbook are 33% more likely to be high performers. And I think there's many reasons around this. So for me, why a playbook is so important, not just for a new BDR function, not for just a new sales function, but even for a BDR function that's been going for a couple of years and is more kind of successful, is that it lays down the foundations. A playbook is an actual document that can be physical or can be stored online that allows you to share success and to share the best practices going. In the crazy world we're living in right now, when I first joined Checkout, when all of our BDRs first joined, it was all remote working. All of our onboarding was remote as well. So we really had to come up with a way that can allow our BDRs to learn as quickly as possible, but also to make sure they can hit the ground running. So what I wanted to kind of show you all today is my thinking behind the playbook, the different sections I've included, why I've included them. And I know we only have 7 minutes, so I'll try and keep this short and sweet. But essentially, the playbook provides the entire framework for us to scale and for us to grow. So in a very short period of time at Checkout, when it was just me in October, we now have 10 BDRs. We're set to increase by more than double by the end of this year. And it's been great to see that kind of started and that framework started from this playbook as well. So this is something that I got from Kevin Dorsey, who did a great chat on building out his playbook. What I've kind of done is put a P back in playbook. I think any good playbook needs to focus around these 4 elements, which are your people, prospects, process, and product. Once you have these as your sort of core foundations to your playbook, you can kind of tailor it and go off in different tangents. So let's start with people. And people essentially refers to your team of BDRs. Whether you already have a team in place, maybe you're hiring quite aggressively and looking to go into new regions, a BDR team will only be successful if you give your BDRs the tools and the platform to be successful. So in the entire people section, these are just some of the sections that I've covered. So what does success actually look like? Now, this could be taken from BDRs who are already in seats, share best practices, what have they been doing, how have they hit the ground running. Essentially, we all have sales experience as well. So what did we help when we were first getting into a sales career? A lot of us were fresh graduates, and this was our first kind of role, was a BDR, SDR. So what were we doing that allowed us to be in the positions we're in right now? In the people section, I'm also very transparent. At Checkout, we outlined the entire career progression for our BDRs. We want them to be motivated, we want them to be determined, and to really outline how far they can grow at Checkout. We also include our KPIs, and something I actually got from Shabri as well, is to have a mission, but also a vision statement as well for a BDR function. Because I think we all know, and we all can all say, that the BDR function is the heartbeat of the commercial org. In here as well, I also have stuff like a one-to-one template. So before every one-to-one, a BDR fills out this template. It provides a lot more structure to our one-to-ones. It means they can make the most out of that hour as well. And then we have a section on our tech stack, what's included, and essentially how to use it as well. We then go on to the second P, which is prospects, and this is all about our target market. What we have here is our case studies, what sets us apart from our main competition. I'm a massive believer in value-based selling. So instead of selling the features of your product, selling the value, and that really comes down to your ICP, but also your ideal behavioral profiles as well. You'll have different CFOs in who's one of our target market at different companies. what they look for may change. And it's about how we can leverage our messaging to essentially cut through the usual BDR traffic as well. The third P is process. And what I include here is essentially everything I wish that I had when I was a BDR. So we have various different cadences. We now have Sales Loft, which has been amazing. I don't know if there's anyone from Sales Loft on this call, but it has been an absolute game changer for us. So we now have all of our cadences in the playbook. We can kind of share, comment on them. We have transcripts. So again, putting back to when I was a recent graduate, what sort of talk tracks used to work for me, but also what success have we seen from our more tenured BDRs. We have a variety of different templates from both inbound, outbound, different situations, such as the breakup email, video templates. And I guess the main thing and how this kind of goes hand in hand with remote onboarding is that all of the training in the playbook, we do live sessions as well. So if a BDR may forget something we mentioned or perhaps can't even make the live session, they can always refer back to the training. And ultimately, in the world we live in now in remote working, you won't have a BDR who is sitting next to you on the desk. They may need to look back, or they may be on a phone call and very want to quickly look at, oh, how do I sell against X competitor? It's all there in the playbook for them. And most importantly, we have all of our rules of engagement as well. And our playbook is not just shared with BDRs, it's also shared with the wider commercial org. So sales reps can see the relationship, they can see the best way to have a happy, positive relationship with a BDR as well. And it's all documented in here. So it's very, very clear, very, very transparent. And we give all of our BDRs the platform to be successful. And then lastly is the product. We all believe that our product is the best product. So now we need to kind of write down why we are the best. And again, it goes down to value-based selling. In our case, we know that we have competition, but we need to leverage our proposition to really focus on the features and benefits. And this image here is actually in the playbook as well. Very, very simple image here, but really highlights the clear differences between features and benefits. In the product section as well, we also have why us, our competitive advantages, and again, that more consultative sell. How can we ensure that our BDRs are the expert when it comes to all things checkout? And hopefully this playbook will give them all the information that they need. So I know I'm just about to need time. How we continue our success, and most importantly for us, is that the playbook needs to be constantly updated. We evaluate our playbook at least once a month, really to make sure that we have the latest templates, information, competitor analysis in there that can give our BDRs the best chance of being successful. And again, at checkout, we're growing like crazy. So we need to make sure that our BDRs have everything that they will need to be successful in their role. I think what we're also doing from the playbook is the BDR team that I look after is European focused. And there's different ways to sell to different regions. How you may sell to Germany will be different how you sell to the UK, for example. So we're now taking this playbook and making more regional specific playbooks that our future BDRs going into that region can then utilize and make the most of. And just in time, the last point is to use. There is no point in having a playbook if it's not going to be used. So really do nail it in. For us, it's all part of the onboarding plan. Sometimes we even share the playbook before a BDR actually starts with us, again, so they can hit the ground running. We also have recorded calls in here as well. So again, they can really make the most of their time. And then when they're up and running, they will be the best BDR that they can be. But that's everything from me. Apologies, a lot of stuff to go through, but I hope that was useful for everyone.